Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa and I am a musician, a bassoonist more specifically, and I also like to talk about books on my channel. So for today's video, I thought I would do a video on the books I want to read for the rest of January. I am very scatterbrained and I'm getting too many books in my TBR, and I would say the majority of the books in my TBR, or sorry, the majority of my books that I physically own, I haven't read most of them. Like, yes, I've read, the Edge Chronicles, but like all the Wheel of Time, pretty much everything in that bottom shelf, Lord of the Rings, like, I would say like 90% of the books in my shelves are not read because I had such a reading slump. I used to only read like one or two books a year. So now I really want to read a lot this year, so I figured doing this video will help me stay on track. So I have decided to pick 5 books, 5 physical books that I want to read by the end of January. I'm currently reading Words of Radiance, which is 1,300 pages, so I don't, as hopeful as I want to be, I don't imagine I'm going to finish that by the end of the month, but I'm going to keep reading it. I'm also physically reading The Violin Conspiracy, which I'm actually going to finish up probably in the next day or two. I am starting to read more. I've been keeping track of my pages I read every day and minutes I read an audiobook. And I'm already noticing in the first 2 weeks of January, my amount of pages is going up and up. So that's a good sign. So yeah, I'm reading The Violin Conspiracy. I'm going to finish that in the next 2 days probably. I have about 100 pages left. And then I had put my name on the wait list at my local library for Yumi and the Nightmare Painter because it's a new book. I thought I would be on the wait list for quite a while, but I actually picked it up yesterday. So Yumi and the Nightmare Painter is going to be, once I finish The Violin Conspiracy, I also want to get down to reading one physical book at a time because I tend to go in between books and then I never finish books. As you'll see in the upcoming ones I want to read, I've started some of them but never stuck with them. So the first one I want to read after I'm finished Violin Conspiracy is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. I'm going to make an exception for Words of Radiance because of how big it is. I want to read that one slowly over time, 5-10 pages a day, just so I can eventually get through it. But now I realized I might push this one towards the end since it's a Sanderson. I don't want to get confused while I'm reading the books. So maybe I will try and push through Words of Radiance. We'll see. As you can see, this is how scatterbrained I get in what I want to read. So Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, that's my first option. The second book I want to read before the end of the month is Cat's Eye by Margaret Atwood. I follow Chantel Reads All Day, and she had a prompt idea for the year, and the first month, I believe, she had 2 options. One was reading a book with a cat on the cover or reading a book with a dog on the cover, and I don't actually have, I do have a couple books with like tigers on the cover, but I decided to go very literal and the word cat is on the cover, so that's what I'm going to do. So I want to read that. I have a ton of Margaret Atwood and I've only read like 2 or 3 of her books, so I want to get through those. Then next on my list, I recently went to a used bookstore and I picked up a couple books, and this one really caught my eye. It's called The Voyage of the Narwhal by Andrea Barrett. This one, it looks intriguing. I'm also the type of person, I don't like to know like anything about the book before I read it. I really like to be surprised when I'm reading the book, so I haven't even read what it's about. I just, the cover looked interesting, so that's why I picked it up, and I mean it was only $5, so. And then lastly, it's another Sanderson, so I might change my plans because this is how I am. But I have started Mistborn, but I haven't read the third one yet, and it's been months since I read the second one, so I finally want to finish the series. I really enjoyed the first 2. I'm just terrible and I can't stick to anything that I want to do. So my goal for the end of the month is I want to finish Mistborn, because the reason I started fantasy is because my friend gave me a bunch of books. He gave me his Mistborn books. He thought he had given me the first trilogy, but he actually gave me the second trilogy. So I want to finish the first set because I have these from my friend that I have not finished yet, and I've had them I think for at least a year, because he also gave me the 3 Body Problems set, and I finished that last year finally. And he also gave me a a series by a trilogy by Brent Weeks that I haven't read yet, so these are also I want to get through. But my focus for this month is to finish Yumi and the Nightmare Painter because it is a library book, Cat's Eye because it is part of Chantal Reads All Day, The Voyage of the Narwhal because it looks interesting, and Brandon Sanderson's The Hero of Ages. And then I'm currently reading The Violin Conspiracy, and I know I'll finish that, and I want to keep reading Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. So that's my plan for the month. We'll see how well I actually do. This video is more of a guide to keep me in track of what I'm reading, otherwise I end up so all over the place. It's also snowing a lot out today, and it's Saturday, so I want to get a lot of reading done. So hopefully, might be a little ambitious, but 50 pages of The Violin Conspiracy would make me happy. And maybe, because I'm me, I will probably delve into something else as well. We also are painting our powder room that's on the main floor, so we need to do that. I need to practice piano, I need to practice bassoon, so I have many things that I want to do today, so we'll see how much I actually accomplish. And you can see this is how crazy my mind works. I am always all over the place and trying to pick what I want to do. It takes me forever. So I hope this video will help me keep to a plan and stay more on track of reading what I actually want to read. And by the end of the year, most of these books will go into the red pile, finally. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, and I will have more videos for you. So stay tuned.